Without further ado, please welcome Terryville High School's class of 2017 graduates.
remain standing. At this time, I'd like to introduce the president of the class of 2017, Kelsey Turgeon.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please remain standing one more time. I'd like to introduce Summer Steiner for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. At this time, please take your seats. Before we get started, I'm going to make a mental note that we should have boxes of tissues under all the seats. I'm already seeing a bunch of teary eyes from the parents. Congratulations for making it this evening. Besides thanking Kelsey and Summer, I'd also like to thank Mr. Keene and our band. The Pomp and Circumstance that you heard as they marched in was a live performance that they had recorded previously. Good evening and welcome, school and town dignitaries, faculty and staff, parents, family members, friends, a class of 2017 favorite, Mrs. Radke, and of course, our graduating class of 2017. Tonight we gather to celebrate the commencement of scholars, athletes, musicians, actors and actresses, artists and leaders, young men and women who are preparing to enter the workforce, the military, or a post-secondary institution of higher education. 20 years ago, I was sitting in your seat, staring out to a sea of spectators, waiting to see each of us walk across the threshold from high school student to an adult in the real world. Oddly, what I remember the most from that evening was the unbearable heat and humidity and the resulting rectangular sweat mark that we each had on our backs from the chairs. I'm telling you, it was symmetrical on every single one of us. Somehow, after all this time, that was worth keeping in my memory. Yet I couldn't begin to tell you what my principal shared as her final words to the class. Maybe it was because I couldn't take a person serious when dressed in a funny gown and hood. Or perhaps it was because I thought I knew everything then and didn't need any words of wisdom. I wonder what life lesson I missed that night. Maybe she shared that gray hairs come as you start having children, and that if you adopt nearly 500 teenagers as your own, that it would be highly recommended to keep your hair short to hide the extra gray hairs. It would have been really great if she incorporated a math lesson that involved 10 minutes of full court basketball, 5 seniors, and a pep rally. I can now tell you the answer to such a challenging algebraic problem is 3 days of avoiding stairs. In all seriousness, what I wish she shared with us, or what I wish I had listened to, was one final sentiment aimed at influencing our future decisions. So tonight, as I stand here in a funny gown and hood, I hope that you have room for one more thought before claiming that you know everything. What I have learned in the 20 years since sitting in your seat is that the old cliche about time flying by isn't so cliche. For this reason, it is your time that is the most precious commodity. Take caution in spending your time working to meet someone else's definition of success. Take caution in blaming others for your shortcomings. And take caution for aimlessly moving through your day with mundane routines. Instead, be purposeful with how you spend your time, who you embrace in your life, what mindsets you express, and how you contribute. You alone have the choice to make each day what you wish. Take the daily opportunity to engage in meaningful thought and intentional action that will add value to your life and your community. I will always cherish my class of 2017 gray hair and the additional one some of you are persistent enough to give me. Class of 2017, the future really is in your hands. You have the ability to shape each of your tomorrows the way you want. On behalf of the entire THS family, we thank you for all the experiences that have made up the past 4 years, and we wish you nothing but the very best with all of your tomorrows. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the Mayor of Plymouth, Mr. David Merchant.
Listen, it is hot up here, I will tell you that. Listen, before we start, we got a lot of people out there in the cafeteria that came here to see you guys. How about if you guys give them just a shout out and a little wave on camera so they can see you in the cafeteria that you're here. Listen, all the noise you guys make when we don't want you to make noise, we want you to make noise, and you just give a little wave. First of all, I want to really thank the class of 2017 for allowing me to be part of this special night for you. And I want to thank you guys for being part of this community, sharing your life for this part of your journey with us. You've made your community very proud. And I personally have enjoyed watching each and every one of you guys grow up into the young adults that you are here today. Whether it be reading to you when you're in elementary school, and that wasn't that long ago, or watching you perform through middle school or high school, sporting events, chorus, drama, or whatever event you got to attend. I even got to attend an Eagle Scout event this year, so you guys really made us proud. But, I especially want to thank you for all the volunteer service that you performed in the community. I know it's some sort of requirement that you have, but the community, it was a pleasure to have you with whatever you chose to volunteer. And I know I worked with a lot of you up at the fairgrounds. I spent a lot of my time in the fall volunteering up at the food booth in the fairground, and I had some great experiences with some of you guys up there over the last 4 years. You have to know that this community or any community is not going to exist if not for volunteers. And I sincerely hope that the experiences that you guys had volunteering your time over the last 4 years is going to help you in the future. To whatever community you settle into, give back to your community. I want to thank the RU reps that are here that have come over and spent time with me over the last couple of years. You guys come over, we had some great discussions, sometimes over lunch, talked about government, talked about how the government here in Plymouth works, how the budget process works. You guys were interested, and you really helped the process. And I think recently we've had a couple of public hearings, and we've had a town council meeting just recently, and I think a lot of you were there to express your opinion about the budget and about the school budget in particular. So I sincerely want to thank each and every one of you that were involved for being involved. You know, now you sit here and your time here at Terryville High School, and you're about to leave us. I would ask you all to remember us, remember your community. I hope you all, as you go down the road, call this your hometown. But before you leave us, you know, I want to give you my thoughts. There's 3 things that I would like to have you do. And I promise you, if you do them, they're going to be the keys to your success in life. I promise you. You know, so many times over the years, I hear people say, you know, if I only knew then what I know now, you know, it would be different. If I could do it all over again, or if I had a second chance. People would say, you know why they said that? Because they made mistakes along the way. And you know what they want to do? They want to be right back in your seat right here to start over again. Well, the bad news is for you, there are no second chances. There are no do-overs. You're not coming back. Once you leave here, you go out into the world. You need to do the very best you can. You need to make the very best decisions that you can. I want you to remember, there's a lot of people out there that have done what you want to do. There's a lot of people out there that are already at where you want to be. And there are people there that have gone where you want to go. But they've all made mistakes along the way. The first thing I want you to do is listen and learn from their mistakes. It's going to be a whole lot quicker to where you want to go, to get to where you want to go, without repeating the mistakes that somebody else has just made before you. I mean, it makes no sense if somebody says, I made a mistake doing this, and you say, okay, and then you do the same thing. It makes no sense. Learn and listen from the people and the mistakes that they've made before you. We've got a plaque hanging up in our house that my wife, Jackie, here, has hanging up. It's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And it says, learn from the mistakes of others, because you won't live long enough to make them all yourself. And that's a really true statement. You need to think about that. Learn from the mistakes of others. And you should jump on that one as quick as you can. That includes your parents. The second one, I want you to live every day in the way that you want to be remembered. Never forget that every day is a gift. Nothing is more important than living every day in the way that you want to be remembered. The third one's a little more difficult. It's going to require a real serious commitment on your part, but I can promise you that this commitment, I've seen graduates from this school that have done this, and I can tell you how successful they are in life. And that is, you need to commit your life to excellence every single day. Every day you get up, you got to, and that doesn't mean once a week, once a month when you feel like it. Commit your life to excellence every single day. Commit your life to excellence every day. Live every day the way you want to be remembered. And learn from the mistakes of others. I promise you, those 3 things are going to give you a success no matter where you go in life. I want to thank you again for allowing me to share this night with you. And now as you're ready to leave us, I want you to remember your community. Don't forget us here. And I want you to go out in the world and make your community proud. And more than that, I want you to make your parents proud. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
At this time, it is my honor to introduce our essayist for the class of 2017, Ms. Haley Hills.
Welcome. Dr. Semmel, Mayor Merchant, Police Chief Krasicki, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, family, and the class of 2017. I would like to thank you for coming today while we celebrate an amazing accomplishment. Anyone on this stage can tell you the highs and lows we have experienced these past 4 years. While we sometimes want to forget the amount of homework we've had, we will never forget the friends, family, and teachers that have supported us. We will remember the fun trips and not so much the bad test grades we've gotten. But what usually goes unnoticed is the time in between that. It is all the late-night essays and last-minute tweaks to a project that becomes a part of our daily routine and therefore is forgotten. But this time is actually some of the most important and is well worth remembering. It taught us some essential skills for our future, including how to manage our time. But more importantly, it reminds us that the small moments in life serve as unique experiences that contain multiple opportunities for not just joy, but jubilation. A compliment a fellow student told you may stay with you for the rest of the day and continually make you smile. A transformative conversation may change your whole life for the better. Whether small or momentous, each day has a purpose and proves that the journey is worth taking. So let's look back at our journey for a moment. Freshman year, we were all a little timid and unsure of ourselves. Just on the first day of school, we were all glued to our schedules, figuring out where the science rooms were, where to sit during lunch and with whom, and walking down the hallways trying not to be too intimidated by the senior class. Though these experiences were new for all of us, these moments prepared us for some unexpected outcomes that would not have been seen otherwise. The bus ride to school really became much more than a simple way of transportation, and it was a trip everyone looked forward to. And special events like the band and chorus trip to Boston became memorable, not just for the big moments, but through the little moments spent with the personable bus drivers who made us laugh while driving us between each activity. Even seeing all the upperclassmen driving acted as a reality check and was a reminder of the importance of growing up and taking risks. All in all, each day we grew closer to our teachers and peers, and because we made the most out of the little moments, we were able to bond with people we otherwise would not have met. Sophomore year was more of a calm year, in which we continued to adapt to new teachers and topics. We actually experienced a major adjustment with almost a whole new group of teachers that in the end proved to be more than instructors. We actually became mentors and advisors through the lessons, learning, and laughter that was shared each day. But more importantly, we all became more confident through our daily walks through the hallway while smiling to a friend, and knowing where and with whom to sit in the cafeteria. And because of this, we were able to share the excitement of the class ring dance. With creative brainstorming sessions and an overall excitement for designing the ring, our shared excitement could not be contained during the ceremony, and thus we all ran to turn each other's ring towards their pinky, symbolizing the friendships that we still see today. Junior year was our first experience as upperclassmen, and really showed us how our efforts were being rewarded. We had a newfound freedom with entertaining classes that were filled with hilarious feuds between teachers and their students, as well as some entertaining puns, specifically in the math department. Additionally, many of us were getting our driver's licenses and were able to experience some refreshing independence. Many of us actually took driver's ed together and proved how all the long and tiresome lessons spent together were nothing when compared to the joy and amusement shared over the jokes and pizza parties. Now, as seniors, we truly have seen it all. From a whole new group of teachers to an unexpected, although very small, electrical fire, there have been many memorable moments to last. Many of us have planned for college and spent the past year under immense pressure to ensure an educated future, while others have been preparing to go straight to work to pursue an important job. But again, what truly made this year special were the little moments. We enjoyed shopping for a dress or tux for prom with our friends, even though it was store after store. And we all remember the boxing ring at Holiday Hill and how heavy those gloves were. Some of us even donated at the annual blood drive held here, and we'll never forget all of the snacks that we could eat while sitting on the mat commenting on the class we were currently missing. But along the journey, it was not just the little moments that made our high school experience so memorable. For instance, there have been many life-changing experiences with friendships. Some of us came to the high school knowing very few people, while others continued their relationships that began in elementary school. Other friendships may have waned as people change and grow. All of these transformations are normal cycles that happen to everyone. Simply put, life happens. So seniors, I hope all of you know that you can live a happy and rewarding life as long as you enjoy the journey along your way. In closing, I would like to share a special quote from Theodore Roosevelt that describes a key factor in future success. He said, "If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month." His message is very simple. Don't let yourself get in the way of your future. Take risks. Try different clubs and activities and see what you like. Stay teachable, because there is always something new to learn. And as mentioned before, look for the joyous moments in each day. Most of all, don't let your worries control you. don't worry about what another person may think of you. Rather, spend your time recognizing and relishing the love you are surrounded by. You are worth so much more than what that person thinks anyway. Overall, our hard work and determination has allowed us to move on to bigger and better things. So before we let life take us away, remember to celebrate and enjoy the specific moment. You all have worked really hard for this and should be very proud of yourselves. Great job, class of 2017. Now I would like to introduce my best friend, the salutatorian of Terryville High School's class of 2017, Elena Garudi.
Hello and welcome, Dr. Semmel, Mayor Merchant, Police Chief Krasicki, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, students, and fellow graduates. I'll start by getting all of the cliches out of the way. The past 4 years flew by. These are the best years of our lives. We've all built lifelong friendships. These are cliches included in every graduation speech, but are they really authentic? Let's be honest. The truth is that a lot of you are eagerly anticipating graduating, to say the least, and most of us, with the exception of the closest of friends, probably will not see each other again until our reunion. Only parts of these cliches are accurate, and although the truth may sound cynical, we must remember that much has been gained over the past 4 years. This town, this school, and these people all had a tremendous impact on each of our lives. Whether we liked it or not, everything happened exactly the way it did, and, as cliche as it may sound, shaped us into the young men and women that we are. One of the major driving forces shaping us has been our environment. There's a particular atmosphere that comes from being raised and going to school in a small town. There is sometimes a stigma that big things cannot come from small places, but that is so unbelievably false. Terryville might not be the biggest town, but it succeeded in making us who we are, and who we are is pretty great. The skills we have learned in the Plymouth Public Schools will guide us in the future as we embark on a new adventure in a new setting. For me, I will be attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in the fall to study aerospace engineering. My hope is ultimately to work for a private company like SpaceX to design reusable rockets and other miracles of engineering with the end goal of putting humankind on Mars. So why do I talk about a small town in my engineering aspirations? It's simple, and the answer can be found in a natural engineering marvel: bees. Bees are much like the stereotype people may have about big things coming from a small town. Bees are an anomaly of engineering because, quote, according to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. In theory, they should not be able to accomplish all that they do. But in a fashion that seemingly defies the laws of nature, bees fly. This is similar to the way in which we have all succeeded here in Terryville. The size of our town creates the impression that great things may not be possible. But each and every year, a new class of graduates emerges, ready to contribute something to the world. These students manage to elude the fate many expect and achieve great things, because there are more opportunities than people might think here. Small towns can provide not only students, but all citizens with the support needed to succeed. Terryville has had an enormous impact on our lives and has allowed us to create enduring memories. Some of my favorite memories as a child involved going to various town activities with my family. Each year, we would go to events run by the Terryville Lions Club and the high school's Leo's Club, such as the Terryville Fair, the Easter egg hunt, the Halloween party, the Loop the Lake run, and so much more. The bottom line is that there's always something to do. A community is never too limited if you put in the effort to become involved in it. Being raised in a small town can sometimes lead people to have a somewhat limited worldview, focusing on things they do not have rather than how much they actually do. However, if you become involved in activities, opportunities will become available to you. In a town like Terryville, it is easy to take advantage of opportunities since everybody knows everybody. Therefore, networking is almost innate here. Unfortunately, the next step we take may not be as easy as we all branch off into unfamiliar environments. That is why the importance of networking is crucial to remember. There is a whole web of opportunities available to you once you find the starting point. That starting point could be anywhere, so it's important to participate in an activity that you're interested in and branch off from there. Do not be limited by imaginary boundaries. Remember, once you knock down the first domino, the rest is a chain reaction. While on the subject of opportunities, it is probably important to clarify that an opportunity is defined as a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Some people believe that the word opportunity must be associated with patience. They think that if you sit around and wait long enough, the perfect moment will present itself. These people wait for the timing of one opportunity to be so perfect that they miss countless others along the way. But an opportunity is not a waiting game. It is merely a set of circumstances, waiting to be taken advantage of. So do not wait. Go out into the world and put yourself in a position where possibilities will become available to you and where you can manage your own set of circumstances. Whereas fate may be inevitable, only you are in control of your own actions and therefore capable of creating your own fate. So let me challenge you. Step out of your comfort zone and take a chance. For me, trying new things led to unexpected surprises. You never know. You might end up having a lot in common with that guy who sat behind you in band. The stranger who sat next to you in math class could become one of your best friends. It's good you got to know those girls on your soccer team, because they were a part of your life for a long time. You could spend years putting all of your effort into schoolwork with your best friend and end up giving speeches together at graduation. What I'm urging everyone to do, whether you're a classmate that is graduating today or a family member who's been away from school a lot longer than you'd like to admit, is take advantage of all opportunities when they're presented to you. All of these chances mean absolutely nothing if you let them slip away. When you leave this room today, make the resolution to choose your own adventure and utilize every opportunity you possibly can. Be like the bee. Dare to challenge what others say is impossible. The only reason something is considered impossible is because no one has succeeded at it yet. So why can't you be the first? Good luck, class of 2017. I cannot wait to see what amazing opportunities you find for yourself. It is now my pleasure to present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2017, Michael Cody.
Good evening. Dr. Semmel, Mayor Merchant, Police Chief Krasicki, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, family. Let me welcome all of you again to the graduation of the class of 2017. This has been a long time coming, and everyone has worked hard to get here. High school is, in many ways, a time of learning, not just in the sense of academics, but also in the sense of learning how to start navigating life. These life lessons are, in my opinion, the most important part of high school. I am sure all of us here have learned a number of important life lessons during the last 4 years. For some people, this could have been time management, balancing schoolwork with sports, jobs, or other activities. For others, it could have been learning more about themselves and discovering what their talents and interests are. Personally, I learned about setting, working towards, and reaching long-term goals. At some point toward the end of 8th grade, I remember telling my mother that I wanted to be the valedictorian when I graduated high school. I wanted to prove to myself that I was capable of achieving something that others could not, making it a test of my will. She laughed. Either way, here I am now. Setting that goal for myself was probably one of the biggest motivators I had throughout high school. I did the work I knew I had to do in order for me to reach that goal, constantly learning things and growing intellectually along the way. So, looking back at everything now, I understand the importance of setting and pursuing goals. Therefore, I encourage all of my fellow classmates to be willing to set some long-term goal for yourself. It could pertain to anything: careers, finances, living conditions, etc. Setting a goal or goals for yourself long-term will help to keep you from becoming stagnant and lethargic. You will be constantly motivated to work towards that goal, and the work you do will probably benefit you in other ways as you continue to reach towards whatever you aspire for. If working towards your goal can get you accolades on the way, it just sweetens the journey and should serve as further incentive to continue moving forward. This goes for everyone else here too. It is never too late to start making and pursuing long-term goals. All of us are capable of admirable achievements in some form. The first step to achieving something must be deciding on what exactly you want to achieve and committing to it. Once you have decided on this, once you set your goal, you will be able to work towards it. Remember, you must be willing to work for your goal. Without commitment, it will just remain some distant thought. When you finally reach that goal, however long it may take, you will complete it having grown through the work you have done to get there, while achieving a well-deserved sense of accomplishment. I would also like to note that these goals you set for yourself should be how you measure your success in life. Success does not have any one requirement. It is not just being wealthy or popular or powerful. Success only means those things if you decide that that is what success is to you. Do not let what others define as success lead you to incorrectly judge your own life. Rather, let the goals you set be how you determine the levels of success you have reached. One final thing about goals: the more people you can help while achieving a goal, the better the goal is. We are all capable of helping others, and it is only right that we should strive to do so. Do your best to make a positive difference in both your life and the lives of others. Doing so can be as easy as changing how you talk to others. One thing I will always remember learning here came from Mr. Scott's. It wasn't his classic, "Eat your greens, don't smoke 'em." He once advised that, when talking with other people, do your best to make it about them rather than yourself. He told us to say "you" more than "I." Even something as simple as that can help make the world a better place. Be excellent to each other and do your best to make a positive difference. To conclude, I have a goal I would recommend that everyone adopt. Something that you can use to measure your success. Something in my life that I think makes me more successful than any academic title ever could. Make it a goal to have good friends and share memories with them. In my opinion, a great deal of one's success can be measured based on the quality of friends you have and the memories you share with them. You are free to disagree with me, but I would say being successful in such an aspect is more important than any other goal you may set for yourself. If I had to choose between either keeping my friends or keeping the success I have had in school, something that, if you ask anyone that knows me, can tell you was extremely important to me, I would choose my friends every time. Just remember, you're all all-stars. Get your game on. Go play, class of 2017.
Good evening. I'd like to now introduce the choir and band seniors who have chosen the song called "See You Again." It is our hope that the lyrics always remind us that even though this may be our last night together as a class, the friendships that we have made here will last a lifetime. We look forward to a bright future knowing we will see you again.
you have to leave so soon? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to leave me when I needed you the most? 'Cause I don't really know how to tell you without feeling much worse. I know you're in a better place, but it's always gonna hurt. Carry on, give me all the strength I need to carry on. Ooh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh, how do I breathe without you? Feeling so cold. I'll be waiting right here till the day you're coming home. Carry on, give me all the strength I need to carry on. So let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. Every road you take will always lead you home. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh, when I see you
I don't know about you, but I think another round of applause for our senior choir and band members. At this time, it is my honor to introduce the Plymouth Board of Education Chairperson, Mrs. Melissa Johnson.
Evening. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me, so I'm going to kind of turn towards them. As I started thinking about what I wanted to speak about during commencement tonight, I thought about a conversation I had with a few of your fellow seniors. I asked them how they were feeling about graduation. One of them said she was very excited, but a little scared to leave THS and home because she was excited to go to college, but she's going to be a little bit further away than she thought she was going to be. And another classmate said she was very excited too, but she was scared and nervous. So both of them did agree that they would miss so much about high school and their involvement in the THS community. These conversations made me think about a quote many of you here tonight may recognize. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think. All of you are braver to move forward towards your future, whether it's higher education, straight to the workforce, the military, or another fascinating adventure. Stronger, hopefully, because you have the courage and the strength for all of you, what you've learned here and the experiences you bring throughout your time here at THS, and hopefully smarter because all that you have been taught academically, emotionally, and civically. My hope and wish for all the graduates tonight is to be happy in your choices you make, and remember that you've experienced up until now will shape who you become. Congratulations to the class of 2017.
At this time, for our final speech of the evening, it's my honor to introduce Plymouth School System Superintendent, Dr. Marty Semmel.
Good evening. As I was thinking about this, I'm the last speaker, which means I'm the person in between, you guys getting your diplomas, and as the auditorium is getting warm and all those things, it just gets a little harder to try to keep people's engagement. So I don't like going last, but I'm going to do the best I can. I also realize that I have something very much connected to the folks who are in this room tonight. I proudly celebrated my own firstborn last night at her graduation, so I think I feel the same pride and love that I had last night that you guys have here for the graduates who are here tonight. You've heard a number of words of wisdom tonight. I heard some great speeches with some great advice. I've learned some of those same things along the road, so well done. And my advice, first of all, to you guys is, not advice, but more of an adjective, is that you are awesome. Class of 2017, you are absolutely awesome. With all of your flaws, with all of your imperfections, all of your idiosyncrasies, all the mistakes you have made, and all the mistakes you will make, you are still, in a word, awesome. In fact, it's actually these imperfections that make you real. It's my hopes that you all recognize that you are truly amazing people, and I hope that you strive to be the very best that you can be each day. Do not fall victim to the disingenuous perfection displayed on social media sites like Instagram. That perfection is not real, and it only serves to boost others at the expense of your true self. Now, I had the opportunity to sit with some of your classmates last week and hear about what makes all of you outstanding and very real. The students described your class as well-rounded, creative, unique, and a class that is full of potential. I hope that sounds like you. You are civic-minded, athletic, and you push yourselves to do your best. Among you are future engineers, pediatric oncologists, members of the service, photojournalists, and so much more. Amongst you is the next Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and even Walt Disney. You are all unique with very different gifts and plans for the future, and I hope you find success in whatever path you choose. Now, speaking of real, our freedom is real, and so are the men and women who fought for and defended those freedoms. Their sacrifices are real, and their dedication to our country is real. And therefore, I would like to ask those in the audience tonight, or up on stage, who have served or are currently serving in the armed forces to please stand and be recognized. My speech says I would ask that you remain standing while we recognize there's a member of the class of 2017, and you saw him quickly already, who has recently enlisted in the United States military. This year you have one individual who will be entering the armed forces, and he's wearing red, white, and blue cords. So I ask that Jared Smith stand and be recognized as well. So Jared will be entering the Navy upon graduation. We are proud of his commitment to his town and country, and we will certainly all pray for your safety.
Good job, Jared!
So with that, class of 2017, I wish you the best of luck, and don't forget, keep it real. And now, what you've probably all been waiting for, I'd like to introduce Mr. Vigliotti, Assistant Principal of Terryville High School, for the presentation of diplomas.
Thank you, Dr. Semmel. Greetings, family and friends, distinguished guests, alum, and of course, seniors. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, and the moment you've all been working towards since you stepped into kindergarten all those years ago. And, this is the culmination, so congratulations. At this time, it is my pleasure to begin the presentation of diplomas. Diplomas will now be awarded to row 1. Michael Henry Cody. Elena Lee Garudi. Haley Rose Hills. Jared John Aldy. Aaron William Alsobrooks. Chelsea Lynn Alvarado. Troy Michael Armington. Jared Ash. Victoria Elizabeth Barber. Caitlin Elizabeth Bednaz. Matthew Ryan Belmay. Jake Timothy Borda. Kaylee Susan Brown. Colby Maureen Brown. Jacob Andrew Labego Cabrera. Alicia Lynn Calabrese. Ryan Capizzello. Tanner Stephen Carone. Jaden Lee Sharon. Tyler Kluke. Deanna Cordero. Kanan Christopher Kasu Fredericks. Jenna Ray Covello. Jacob Mitchell Cox. Diplomas will now be awarded to row 2. Jacob Ryan Darley. Elsa Dowdy. Take a picture. Ashlyn Rachel Winter Dawson. Ryan Carl Delavecchia. Dylan Anthony DiLorenzo. Taylor James Dennis. James Hunter Descalt. Michaela Rose Descalt. Joseph David Deutsch. Rosanna Di Taranto. Christopher Domestico. Jason Diaz Donahue Johnson. Sean Patrick Doucette. Emily Grace Davitsky. Riley Ann Dring. Kyle Stephen Engel. Louis Paul Farley. Jennifer Shirlene Fisher. Sean Robert Fulton. Abigail Karen Gallo. Devin Lynn Gamlin. Nicholas Carmen Gentile. Diplomas will now be awarded to row 3. Alexis Michalina Gonska. John Thomas Grimes. Michael J. Gudachowskis. Courtney Taylor Harkins Latimer. Zachary Wayne Harnish. Jessica Horilo. Cameron Michael Herman. Nicholas Valu Hogan. Kyle Andrew Hotchkiss. Jason Thomas Hume. David Harold Hunt. Alyssa Ashley Iris. Zoe Ann Jabs. Matthew Vincent John Jobagi. Harley Ann Jobagi. Kirsten Margaret Johnson. Joanna Jane Johnson. Trevor Loomis Jones. Bradley Charles Kazakowski. Allison Nicole LaFleur. Sydney Ann Lawyer. Diplomas will now be awarded to row 4. Robert Richard Lamar. Aaron George Lance. Brian Ferreira Leet. Aaron Christopher Mantoni. Joshua Philip Mazer. Donnie James McCann. Ryan Martin Mensel. Jenna Eve Mashaud. Courtney Ray Mitchell. Shailene Lewis Montre. Hunter Llewellyn Morneau. Bryce Christopher Newton. Alyssa Nicole Orr. Geraldine Amy Paez. Brendan Gage Pavlek. Alyssa Rose Pellegrino. Christopher Joseph Pelletier. Anthony John Phoenix. Carly Ray Deanna Piper. Christiane Elizabeth Richardson. Jacob Edward Rideout. Diplomas will now be awarded to row 5. Bryant Michael Riley. Christian Mark Robinson. David John Russell. Nora Sammy. Braden Edward Sanchez. Ashley Ann Santapietro. Cheyenne Sassani. Christian Mays Shappy. Brianna Francis Sheedy. Jared Lincoln Smith. Megan Teresa Susi. Adam Russell Sprague. Summer Rose Steiner. William James Everett Stone. Jillian Rose Strahowski. Derek Austin Thibodeau. Tyler Joseph Thompson. Frank John Torino. Brianna Mercedes Tui. Kelsey Turgeon. Zanetta Timura. Dante Gianni Valente. Douglas Allen Welton. Michael Allen West. Linda Eileen Williams. Dylan Lee Woodward. Joshua Eric Wright. Edmund Joseph Wasaki. Okay, graduates. Graduates, please move your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left. And now, esteemed guests, I'm proud to present to you the Terryville High School graduate class of 2017.
Yep.